Missing those really sucks, especially when you need it for birdie, par, or even to salvage a bogey. But when you're under a bit of pressure, those little putts seem to get a little bit longer. And there is one real bad reason that you do it. And it's not much to do with technique, but I'm going to give you two things that will instantly make sense and help you hole much more short putts. Trevino knew what to do, and so will you. There's several reasons why you're going to miss these short putts. You might not have a silky putting stroke like Scotty Scheffler does, but we can follow just two principles that I know are going to help you hole more frequently. But let's first point out why you miss. Don't worry about the fact that I'm using the arm lock putter. I've been using this from PXG for a couple of weeks and it has been fantastic. And I am going to do a lesson on the benefits of an arm lock putter. I'm just testing around with it. I like it. But this works perfectly the same, perfectly as well with just a regular putter. Okay? So there's that, put that out of the way. Forget green reading for a minute. Let's just assume every putt is going to be pretty straight, whether it's downhill or uphill. But especially if it's downhill, what can really be accentuated here is a matter of when you're putting, it's a matter of decelerating. Because you're a little bit tentative, a little bit worried about missing the putt for one thing. But because of that tension, it's less about being too tense. It's more about being apprehensive. And when we're a little bit apprehensive, we become tentative and we end up steering the putt a little bit too much. And this does apply to, as you go further out, but let's focus on the short putts. What I mean by tentativeness, and it's what I showed you on that first putt I missed, is basically we are decelerating, trying to sort of steer the putt in. I'm exaggerating for visual purposes here, but that's the general gist. If, when you're putting, you're taking it back too far, subconsciously it's too far, you're going to slow down and you're going to stall your body and you're going to almost putt with your hands a little bit there and it's going to be difficult to get it in the hole frequently. Nothing about it is positive because every putt you have is a straight putt. You just point in a different direction. But if you get better at not decelerating, you will hole more putts. It will give you more confidence. So what did Trevino do about this? Especially on faster greens, this applies as well, as I said, downhill. But one of the tendencies people have is just the ball being way too far forward in the stance. I'm exaggerating a bit here, but we're going to almost try and sort of lift the putt that way a little bit. It hasn't got a good roll. So we can, quite simply, move the ball a little bit further back. By moving the ball a little bit further back in your stance, what it's going to do pretty much subconsciously is encourage you to do a shorter backstroke. And that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at trying to go back shorter distance so we can keep the same tempo and accelerate through with a nice cadence. So it's really two tips in one, because if we move it further back, if I'm going to exaggerate here, we're going to move it further back, it's going to feel very awkward to take the putter too far back here. Likewise, if I just go very short, I'm going to end my backstroke about here, right? That's about as far back as I'm going to take it. Now, if I did that same backstroke, but my ball was far forward, if I go to there, like trying to use this as my barometer, like my measuring stick, my foot, that's going back too far. But if I use my back foot as the measuring distance, that's going to be a lot shorter. If I'm extremely short, I have to accelerate through easier, okay? Well, clonked it out of the way. But that's the idea, that we want to be shorter and more positive. So next time you have a short putt, I want you to just try two things. Move it at least 1, 2, 3 balls back. So now the ball feels further back, but I know I'm not going to go past my foot. And from here, I can just stick it in. It's a much more positive cadence of stroke. It's more efficient. And when you're under pressure, when you've got short putts, it is going to really help you stop decelerating and hole a few more putts. Now, if you want to make sure you hit more greens to help you hole more putts, so it really does help you score, check out this lesson. It's going to help compression, consistency, and your basically accuracy to hit more greens. Thanks for watching. See you next time.